So we received some interesting news last night, but it didn't come from the Bulls. In fact, Billy Donovan denied any knowledge of it when asked in his post-game press conference. But according to Rick Carlisle, the head coach of the Indiana Pacers, Tristian Thompson, who the Pacers acquired in that trade for Domantas Sabonis that also sent Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield to the Pacers, but he said that Thompson played his last game with the Pacers and that he will be waived tomorrow, meaning today, and that he was going to be joining a contending team in the East that starts with a C and ends with an O. And of course, you saw NBA Twitter blow up saying that Thompson was going to be signing with the Bulls once he clears waivers. You even had Shams Charania indicating the same, which generally speaking, Shams or Adrian Wojnarowski, when they tweet something that a confirmed player transaction has been made, it's generally true, although Woj did not tweet about it, which is interesting. But in any event, when Billy Donovan was asked about it in his post-game press conference from last night, he did say he hadn't heard anything regarding Tristian Thompson, nor had he seen or read the comments made by Rick Carlisle. Anyway, the whole thing is a little strange, and even at the time of this recording, the Bulls franchise has not confirmed whether they will be signing Thompson, probably because Thompson hasn't cleared waivers yet. But in any event, it looks like Tristian Thompson is on his way to Chicago, which is a great pickup for the Bulls in my opinion, and I'll share my thoughts on why in this video. So what's going on, everyone? You are listening to Bulls Central here. Hope you're all doing well. So about a month ago or so, I made a video about 5 potential buyout candidates that the Bulls should pursue if any of the players did in fact end up hitting the buyout market. Robert Covington was one of them, and I had indicated it was probably unlikely that he would be bought out by the Blazers because he's good enough that you could find a trade for him rather than buying him out for nothing. Another one, Derek Favors, who I think still likely will be bought out. Robin Lopez was another who I wouldn't be surprised if he was bought out. And then another was Chris Boucher, who I found very, very unlikely to be bought out. But at the same time, there was a lot of tension between Boucher and the Raptors at the time that I did that recording anyway, and his role on the team. But even with that said, Boucher has enough value to be traded. And then the last player I mentioned was Tristian Thompson. And Thompson was actually the guy that I thought was the most realistic option for the Bulls, for someone who actually would be bought out and who would fit on this team nicely. Now, I'm not saying that Thompson is a game changer for the Bulls or that he makes us an instant title contender. No, like Thompson's best days are behind him. Let's be very clear on that. But the fact of the matter is, what Tristian Thompson does bring is that playoff and championship experience, versatility in the fact that he can play the 4 or the 5. He's a strong rebounder, and I know some will say, what do you mean? He's only averaging 5.3 rebounds per game. Yeah, but he's doing that on 15 minutes per game. He's actually averaging near 10 rebounds per 36 minutes and a whopping 13 rebounds per 100 possessions. He's not a big-time scorer, but he'll get you some buckets. Not a great rim protector, but he's a solid on-ball defender in the paint, which the Bulls need. But more importantly than all of that, Thompson has that fight and hustle mentality and that win-first mindset that fits the culture and chemistry of this roster. Now, I know some Bulls fans aren't particularly happy with this signing. Again, if it does in fact become true, that still hasn't been confirmed yet by the Bulls organization. But I mentioned weeks prior to the trade deadline that going the buyout market route was the most likely scenario for the Bulls, based on where the team was currently at in the standings and the fact that it would make more sense to bring in a short-term solution, basically bringing in a player on a half-year rental to finish out the season while we wait for Patrick Williams to return to the lineup in full health. And of course, waiting until the offseason to see what other free agent opportunities present themselves. Like, it's not like we're committing to Tristian Thompson long-term. No, like, he's probably going to be signing the vet minimum through the end of the season. So I struggle to understand for those who don't like this move. Like, finally, we have some size in the front court versus not having it at all. That's still a win. And maybe some are saying, well, we could have gotten someone better off the buyout market. Well, who? As of right now, the only players that are slated to be bought out, if they haven't been bought out already, are Goran Dragic, who doesn't fit this roster at all, and now Tristian Thompson. So anyway, I love this move for the Bulls. It finally gives us some size. Like, we finally have a forward who is bigger than 6'6" or 6'7". I mean, it's very possible you might see Thompson starting at the 4 based on how he plays or what the matchups look like on a given night. Although, I have to say, I do still like Javonte Green starting at the 4 spot. So we'll have to see how it all shakes out. The other thing I'm curious about is, who are the Bulls going to waive? Because keep in mind, the Bulls have a completely full roster, so in order to make room for Tristian Thompson, they are going to need to waive someone, and I imagine it's likely going to be between Alfonso McKinnie and Matt Thomas. It's more likely that it's going to be McKinnie just because I think the Bulls front office, they really value his shooting and floor spacing. However, I personally would want to see Matt Thomas waived over McKinnie, given the fact that the Bulls are already crowded in the backcourt and could always use a little more size, which McKinnie offers. But either way, you're talking about a 15th man role. So once all of these guys come back from injury, neither McKinnie nor Thomas would see much playing time as it is being out of the rotation. But either way, one of those guys is going to have to be waived to make a roster spot available for Tristian Thompson. I'm sure we'll find out who that is going to be in the coming hours. We might already know by the time you're actually watching this, but anyway, guys, I just wanted to share my thoughts on this news. Again, still has not been confirmed at the time of this recording. Let me know what you guys think of this signing below in the comments. And guys, as always, be sure to subscribe if you're a Bulls fan, as I do post daily Bulls content. Thanks again for tuning in, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.